Hello and welcome to my second podcast. The first one was about the history of games. And so this is in a similar direction. This is my history with video games. I just figured I'd get in here and start spitballing about video games over the years as I've grown up. So when I was very young, my parents bought Super Nintendo, and there was Mortal Kombat on there, and there was a bowling game on there. And so we used to have a lot of fun with that. The whole family would get in on that. Um, and we would just have a blast with it. I don't know if you remember the gray controllers with the purple buttons. Um, but yeah, it was cool. And, blowing out the cartridges when they weren't working, getting the dust out of them. What a nostalgic thing. There's a lot of you, maybe, I don't know what age my audience is or who's watching this, but back in my day, we had cartridges and not discs and digital downloads, and we had to spend 10 minutes blowing out the dust with our lungs themselves. No, I'm just kidding. So I had to walk 5 miles uphill both ways. No. Um, I, uh, I then moved on to the PlayStation. Um, the PlayStation was super cool. My dad and I used to play Sarge's Heroes. I don't know if anybody remembers that. um, it was a game about the little plastic army men. Um, wow, was it fun? There was the character. Okay, so there was the green and the tan, and the green was the good guys, and the tan was the bad guys. And so on the tan side, the bad guy looked like Hitler, and on the green side, the good guy was like all bulked up, Mr. Muscles, GI Joe type of guy. And so you'd get in there and you'd fight it out. No aim down sights or anything, but just you'd get in and walk around and shoot at each other, and so we'd have a lot of fun with that. And yeah, there was a bunch of good games on the PlayStation. I can't remember all of them, but yeah, we used to have a lot of fun. Uh, One that I do remember was my first shooter game. It was a top down. I can't remember what it was called, but you have to walk through this like kind of a maze and shoot your way through. And there was a lot of blood and guts, and there was a lot of cursing. And my mom came down while I was playing it. We got it at Blockbuster, another dinosaur of a thing. Um, but yeah, so she took that one back. She took it right out and took it back. She was not having that. um, yeah, so that was my first couple of shooters there. That Sarge's Heroes and then that other one. I can't remember what the name of it was. But then from there, I moved on to the N64. I had an N64 for a little while. They had a sale on those up at Toys R Us. Another dinosaur. Um, so it was in the middle aisle. It had Pikachu on it. It was an officially licensed Pikachu N64. If I still had that thing, it would probably buy me a car. I don't know what they're going for today. I can't imagine that they're going I mean, really, I think they'd probably go for a pretty penny. Um, but back then, they were just trying to unload them. So anyhow, I got one, and I had some friends back then. We'd play. We'd do Road Rash, that motorcycle game. I don't know if you remember that one. Um, it was like kind of like an arcadey type thing where you're just driving down a road, and you have different weapons like a chain or a baseball bat. You get up beside somebody and start hitting at them. And so we used to have fun with that. Um, and then um, and then after that came the Xbox, and that's when things really changed. I was a little bit older. I mean, obviously, I guess I was. around 11 years old. And so the first game I played on there was Munch's Odyssey, which was just a quirky game. I don't know if you're familiar with Oddworld's games. I think they're still making games. I played one not long ago. It was like a side scroller where you play as Abe, which was one of the main characters. He's like this weird zombie looking guy with his mouth sewn shut. I don't know what the backstory is on him, but they're cool. They're cool games. Um, so yeah, Munch's Odyssey, and then there was some other ones we'd play, but the big one, the big game changer for that in my life with gaming, it was Mech Assault. My dad came home one day and he had a box with a microphone. It was a microphone with an earpiece, and it looked like one of those things that you'd wear at a call center. And so it had that. It had like a 3 month subscription to Xbox Live, and it had Mech Assault. Um, Now, Mech Assault was a game where you're in like a mech, which is like a big robot that is piloted by a human. And I don't think we're too far off from seeing them in real life. But yeah, so anyhow, you get into the battlefield and you try to kill the other mechs. And it was a good time. Then from there, um, I moved into Call of Duty, Call of Duty 2 and Call of Duty 3. Now, Call of Duty 2 was fun. I liked it, but I didn't play it nearly as much as Call of Duty 3. Call of Duty 3 was awesome. Call of Duty 3 had these huge maps. It had vehicles. It had awesome weapons. It was set in like World War II. The community was really cool. Um, which is really neat. You could crawl up on a roof and hang out up there and snipe, or maybe you're in a tank or driving around in a jeep. It was ambitious for the Xbox. It really, really, really something cool. And so I had a blast with that, and then the Xbox 360 came out, and Modern Warfare came out. Call of Duty 4. And so that took up a lot of my time, and then World at War, and a bunch of other games. Rainbow Six Vegas. Uh, Man, I played a bunch of games on that 360. And so I had a 360 all the way through high school. And then I kind of got away from it for a while to chase my artistic dreams. I was a lamp worker for a long time, for like 7 years. And if you don't know what a lamp worker is, you can search it on Google. But yeah, so I dumped all my time and money into that, and I kind of left the video games by the wayside. And then I got back into them. I got an Xbox One, and I started playing Destiny 2, which consumed a huge chunk of my life for a long time. It was a very good game. I'm not saying that it's not still a very good game, but there's just so much going on. It's been out for what now? I guess it's almost. I mean, did that come out in 2018? So it's almost 10 years old, and they're still doing updates. And they made it so that a lot of the stuff that you unlocked, they erased it from the game pretty much. And then they brought it all back because everybody was mad. I was one of the ones that was mad. I left then, but I got back into it again later. I mean, it's a good game. There's a lot of good in there. But yeah, so that Xbox was pretty much a Destiny machine. I did play some other things on there, but mostly it was Destiny. And then I got the Series X and got into Overwatch, which was fantastic. Uh, I haven't played it in a while, but I love Overwatch. And I was still playing Destiny at that point too. Um, I've been on and off with Destiny since it started. Um, I've always been a Bungie fan. Halo, I forgot about Halo back on the Xbox. I had so much fun with that. And Halo 2, oh my gosh, Halo 2 and Halo 3. Wow. If you remember Halo 2, when the first time you broke open a tank lid and threw in a grenade, man, if you remember that, you remember feeling real freaking good because that's how that felt. Um, get up on top of the tank, bash it open, and blow it up. Yeah, that was an awesome game. Yeah, for sure. Where are we at now? The Xbox Series X. Yeah, and then I went to school, and this is when I went back to college because I got away from the lamp working after after COVID. When COVID hit, business got rough and things kind of got jumbled up in my life. So I started looking for an education, and when I got into that education, I slowly stopped gaming as much as I was, which was a mistake, to be fair, because it's a good outlet. When you don't have a good outlet, the mind it isn't in a good place. You have to have a good outlet, and video games. I mean, they can be great for that. So yeah. Anyhow, though, I kind of got away from it. I sold my Xbox to pay my phone bill. I was like, all right, well, I could pay by month because I got Mint. I was like, I could pay by month, or I could just sell my Xbox and pay for the year and be done with it. So that's what I did. And then a little while later, I got a job. It was a pretty good job, and that was right after the MetaQuest 3S came out, and so I bought that. And then I started playing some different games on there, some aim trainers and things. Hyper Dash was one of my favorites. It was one of my favorite games of all time. And it's such a shame that I feel the way I do about that studio now. That made Hyper Dash. They kind of took a turn in a different direction, and I hung on for as long as I could. They made Breachers and Forefront, but they don't moderate like they should, and so I don't play their games anymore. I've uninstalled them, unless they make a really big turn and make the announcement public. I will not be playing their games anymore. They don't moderate anything. They don't moderate cheating. I mean, they claim to, but it's in every game. And I mean, it's obvious. And I know people are like, oh, he says there's cheaters, and everybody says there's cheaters when you're losing, but it's a VR game, and people will do something like this, like I'll walk into a room and they'll go like this and hit me in the head one time, and now you're in VR, you got these controllers, right out, pal, hit me in the head, and I'm done. It's like how I mean, you'd have to practice. How much are these people practicing? I don't know because it's a lot of them. Maybe they all get together and practice for 16 hours a day, and that's all they've done for the last 10 years. Actually, no, because the game hasn't been out for that long. I don't want to go into it about that. It just is, it's on my mind. I just posted a video about them earlier today, warning people that they don't moderate and telling them not to buy their games. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, if they fix things, they got a lot of good going for them. Hyperdash was awesome. Um, and Breachers and Forefront, they have a lot of really good elements, but they just, I mean, they don't moderate. Like Call of Duty, I play so much Call of Duty now, and I haven't been in a Call of Duty lobby where I've heard any nasty racism or any of these things that are ruining Forefront Breachers, because Call of Duty moderates very well. They have AI moderation, and when it hears certain things, it flags what it hears, and so anybody that is up to that type of behavior, they get banned, and so that's very important. Now, I'm going to say this in the defense of Triangle Factory. Um, When I played Mech Assault when I was a kid, things were kind of a mess in there too. And it's, it's new. VR is new, but really, video games aren't, and moderation isn't either. Xbox kind of had an excuse because it was a bit of an experiment. Xbox Live, they started that, and that was brand new. Playing online with each other was brand new. This that's going on with Breachers and Forefront, yeah, okay, so VR is new, but I mean, they really should be moderating better. Call of Duty, though, I've been playing so much Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and I haven't played Call of Duty at all since Black Ops 2. And now I know a lot of people don't like Black Ops 7, but I love it. I think it is the best Call of Duty. Maybe I'd have a different opinion if I would have played some of the other ones. But I just think it's so fun. I think the movement feels good. I think the weapons feel good. I think the maps are excellent. And some of them I can see that they took parts of old maps and put them into this game. So one in particular, there's a lane that is identical to one of the Call of Duties that I played when I was younger, and I was like, wow, it's like I'm right back in it, and it's this feeling of nostalgia, and so I think it'll always be that way with Call of Duty for me. I love those games. Um, but recently, I've been playing on a PC. After I sold my Xbox, I got the MetaQuest 3S, and then I spent some time with it and sold it to buy the MetaQuest 3. And there's a lot of good games on there. Um, I kind of went off on a tangent about Triangle Factory, but yeah, there's a lot of good ones. I have a lot of fun getting in there and playing with the aim trainers. There's one I like to play where you shoot balloons and you get a high score. I was playing RoboQuest earlier. It's a super fun one. It just came out. ExoShock is fun. It's coming out. It's in pre-release. I was playing that earlier today. There's just so many good games available in VR. If you haven't gotten into it, definitely give it a try. And I've said this before. I have a video about the MetaQuest. Um, it's back down in my videos. You'd have to go look for it. If you're interested in the Quest, you might want to watch it. But yeah, I mean, some people get motion sick, and it's kind of daunting, I think, for some people to try to get into it. I know for me, for a long time, the price point was $500. That was the entry point, and I was like, I'm not spending $500 on something I don't even know if I'm going to like. And I had to buy extra lenses, but Zenny Optical sells them. I think they were $50 for prescription inserts. Um, but anyhow, the Quest 3S, when they released it, it was $300. I think it's 350 now, and I can see why they raised the price. Uh, it's supply and demand. Um, I think that also the the just the price of developing these things. They've been in a hole with them for a while, but they keep pushing with it, and they're gonna make it. I know they will. Um, they're I mean, a lot of people have those headsets already, but looking at the numbers, the last couple of years, Meta has been in the hole with that project, and so they've been trying different things, and so they had to raise the price a little bit. But still, it's well worth it. I can assure you. Just don't have too many drinks before you start because you might get super sick. I had a buddy who was throwing up. I mean, it's this guy. No, I don't think I'd call him a buddy. But just this dude I was talking to. He's like, yeah, I was throwing up. As soon as I put it on, and I mean, he's off at you know at the watering hole, and so I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but don't come home from the watering hole and throw your headset right on for the first time is what I am saying. Um, now, uh, on my PC though, there's so many good games. Steam, I was never introduced to Steam until I got my PC, and then I started wishlisting things. because it said like, okay, so it was like wish list, and we'll let you know when it goes on sale. So I started wish listing everything, and sure enough, I get these notifications. Bioshock collection, $6. Need for Speed Heat, $3. Riders Republic, $5. And I'm like, okay, like, sure. For that price, I'll buy. And so now I have this whole catalog of games to play. And I can keep them the whole time I have a PC, anytime I sign into a PC. And this next generation of consoles, from what I understand, is going to have Steam support. So yeah, I mean, Steam has been a real game changer for games for me. Um, I'm looking at a couple of the ones on here. Uh, Portal, Expeditions, a Mud Runners game. Expeditions is one of my favorite games. I love playing that. You get into a truck and you have to drive like kind of real slow over rocks a lot of the time, and you have to slip and slide through the mud, and so you're always correcting to keep yourself going in the right direction. And so that's a blast. Um, Red Matter. I forgot about Red Matter on the Quest. That's a fun one. Half-Life Alyx was amazing. That's a PC VR game. But with things like the Steam Machine, and I'm guessing these new consoles will probably have support. If they're going to do Steam support, they'll probably have support for headsets like the Quest and the Steam Frame. It seems like everybody's linking together. Uh, I mean, I'm not sure that we'll see all of the catalogs all in one place, but Steam sort of seems to be a common element in a lot of the conversation that I've been seeing about these future consoles, and so hopefully they do have support for VR because games like Half-Life Alyx and some other ones like I'm looking at Rise of Tomb Raider. I think that's the one that's VR. Um, and they also have Oblivion, I think is the one, Elder Scrolls. They have that in VR. There's a bunch of awesome games. Fallout 4 in VR. Games you can't get natively on the Quest. Now that's not to say you can't get good games on the Quest because there's a ton of good games in that catalog. But yeah, Skate, the new one is free, and it's a blast. Luminous and Tetris, man, Tetris. It's one of the first games to be put out there, and it is still, it's geez, Tetris is my favorite game, I think. They have this new one, Tetris Effect Connected, and the visuals and the sound effects and everything. Oh my gosh, it's just such a good game, really. If you haven't played it, you should check it out. Maybe watch a video on it. I have a few in my page. Um, but yeah, so I just kind of felt like just talking a little bit about games, and just I was just feeling a little bit chatty, so I decided to do this little podcast. Um, yeah, so anyhow, if you ever want to play, hit me up. Send me a comment. And maybe we can get together and play sometime. I am always excited to meet new people, and so we can see how it goes. All right, so I'm coming up on 25 minutes here. I am going to end this and bid you farewell. So happy gaming. May all your games be close ones, and may they all be wins. Farewell until we meet again.